Today on CCX News, construction impact, what the 63rd Avenue Bridge replacement project means for drivers and businesses. The 63rd Avenue closure is going to make some tough-to-access businesses even tougher.
We have a section which is just stripes, polka dots, and zigzags.
Small businesses are the fabric of a community.
I chose the fabrics and constructed it the way I wanted to construct it.
Just ask Joanne Atkins.
It's artistic, it's creative, and it's functional.
Her shop is a quilter's haven. It carries fabrics, patterns, and classes.
The most important thing we have to offer is help. If they have any questions whatsoever, we're here to help.
Four Seasons Quilts is located just off the 63rd Avenue exit off of 169 in Maple Grove. It's been there for 13 years. But that 63rd Avenue bridge will close starting April 15th.
So that will be closed for the duration of the summer construction season through October.
I think it's going to be a real pain. I'm not looking forward to it. It's going to mess a lot of things up for us, I think, in terms of delivery times and stuff like that.
Well, we won't go to those businesses because we won't be able to get across the bridge.
So I don't know what's going to happen, but I really feel like it might destroy us.
Businesses on the Maple Grove side say customers have little access to those shops outside of 169.
I was upset that I didn't know ahead of time, so I could prepare my customers how to get here and what's happening.
Right now we're in the middle of prom season, so one thing unique about us is we actually carry a lot of the more fun, unique styles.
Across 63rd, Tariq Isaacson owns Knight's Chamber. They sell suits for weddings and formal events. The construction closure came as a surprise to his business, too.
If it weren't for originally a customer coming to us and commenting that the bridge closure was happening a few weeks ago, we probably would have been caught off guard.
Back at Four Seasons,
I think it's going to be major, and I'm worried about being in business, staying in business. I am.
As April 15th grows closer, both businesses will have to rely on word of mouth to stay together, stitch by stitch. In other news, Brooklyn Park police arrested a suspect in a residential neighborhood after a 911 caller reported hearing gunshots. Police were called to the 2500 block of 83rd Avenue around 6:45 Wednesday morning. Arriving officers heard gunfire and set up around the home where it was coming from. As police surrounded the home, a suspect came out and was arrested without incident. Police say the suspect has outstanding warrants. Officers also recovered a firearm and evidence of shots fired. No one was injured. A New Hope lawmaker proposed a bill that could ratchet up funding for county medical buildings, but the money would come from an unexpected source. A Hennepin County sales tax helped pay for Target Field. With the park getting paid off about a decade early, county officials want to use the sales tax to fix aging medical facilities. Senator Ann Rest of New Hope proposed the plan to the tax committee on Tuesday. She's pushing for its inclusion in the omnibus tax bill this session. Irene Fernando, who represents parts of Plymouth and Golden Valley on the county board, says the county never turns away patients based on finances.
In so many ways, the health outcomes for all Minnesota depend on a well-run, extensive county health system.
We believe that all Hennepin County needs resources and facilities like this. Our impact is real when the county invests in high-quality health care, infrastructure, people and communities benefit.
Two of Hennepin Healthcare's clinics are located in Brooklyn Park and Golden Valley. The Brooklyn Park City Council, meanwhile, approved changes to its state bonding requests. It's now making improvements to the Community Activity Center its #1 funding priority. The CAC has been a hot topic since a controversial plan last year sought to convert an ice sheet to basketball courts. The City Council is now getting behind a plan to keep the ice sheet and expand the center to add gym space. The city is also seeking state bonding for a new central fire station. If no bond funds come through, the City Council faces a difficult decision.
If the state does not provide the resources towards the fire station, then it would be a decision by this city council body in terms of how to go about, one, do you want to move forward with the fire station project? And if so, what mechanism would we want to use to pay for those, that construction cost?
The city is also seeking state bond funds to expand the Zanewood Teen Rec Center. A local church is celebrating a significant milestone this weekend. Delaney Cleveland takes us inside a church that dates back to the time of the Civil War.
On the border of Corcoran and Maple Grove sits a church that's a fixture in this community.
St. John's is a faithful church.
Pastor Matthew Moss has been here at St. John's Evangelical Lutheran Church for the last 6.5 years. A small blip considering the church's long history.
The German immigrants wanted a place where they could receive the word and sacrament and raise their children in the Lutheran faith.
Those German immigrants established the church here in 1864 during the presidency of Abraham Lincoln.
The country's torn by civil war, and we've only endured this long by the grace of God in Jesus Christ. This is a congregation of sinners. If it was left to our own devices, we would have made a mess of it a long time ago. It's only by Him that we can endure.
Not just endure, but thrive. Pastor Moss says the congregation size is somewhere between 700 to 1,000 people.
Some of the original founding families of this church still have descendants living and attending and involved, and some of their ancestors are buried in our cemetery as well. And so those are truly our most prized possessions in the church.
This weekend, the church plans to celebrate its 160th anniversary. The church, much like the surrounding neighborhood, looks much different than it did in 1864. Yet despite all the changes, the mission has remained the same.
These are faithful Lutherans, not all of German descent, from a variety of nationalities around the world, who have a common Savior and a common mission to have their children raised with that same Lutheran faith.
In Corcoran, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
The church plans to have even more events this summer to continue the celebration of its 160th anniversary.
Wayzata was state Class AA champion in boys tennis last spring. Tuesday, they squared off with the defending Class A champion. Chaz Moots has the highlights.
St. Paul Academy visiting Wayzata for the Trojans season opener, battle of defending state champs. First singles, Aaron Badoon going up against Zahira Hassan. Badoon charges the net, good reaction and point. Later in the set, Badoon comes up again, this time going cross court for the point. He wins easy over Hassan, 6-1, 6-0. Second singles, Tanae Pangalori gets Winston Arvidsson on the run. Great backhand from Pangalori for the point, but it's Arvidsson who gets the win, 5-7, 6-2, 6-2. First doubles, Nolan Badoon and Jacob Salisbury facing off against Leo Benson and Mayak win. Salisbury returns it, Badoon goes low for the point. Next set, it's Badoon going down the line for the point. Salisbury and Badoon get the win, 5-7, 6-2, 6-4. Over at second doubles, Isaac Sinartna with a beautiful backhand for SPA. Him and Jacob Colton get the point, but Rishi Rajith with the ace. Him and Thomas Prodzinski get the win, 6-4, 6-3. Wayzata defeats SPA 6-1. In Plymouth, Chaz Moots, CCX Sports.
The Armstrong softball team advanced to the Section 6 4A final last spring, and they have a good core of that team back this season. The Falcons faced Totino-Grace Tuesday. Jay Wilcox has highlights.
Totino-Grace's season opener as they play host to Armstrong in Northwest Suburban softball. Armstrong erupts early. Elizabeth Bray hits a rope over the left fielder's head in the top of the first, and it gets to the fence. Peyton Erickson scores, and Bray reaches third on an overthrow. It's quickly 3-0 Falcons. Still in the first, and Julia Gerard tags it to left center, just out of reach of the Eagles center fielder. Gabby Burns scores as Armstrong gets 6 in the top of the first. Second inning, and Falcons pitcher Erickson delivers with the bat, driving it to deep right center. Lead runner Sidney Primer comes in to score, and when the throw home gets away, Erickson also scores to make it 8-0. It's 9-0 Falcons after 2. Bray continues her big day with a solo home run in the fourth as she goes 4 for 4, and Armstrong rolls to a 16-3 win in 5 innings over Totino-Grace. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
The Totino-Grace boys golf team captured the Class 2A title last spring, a first for the program. As Chaz Moots reports, the Eagles are hungry for more.
The weather is starting to swing back in the right direction. Totino-Grace boys golf's first practice of the spring season was inside and out.
Obviously with Minnesota, the weather's pretty unpredictable, but like just doing what you can, you know, golf's like, you can play outside as much as you want and get better on the course, but mentally you got to stay focused, and it's a lot of mental games.
The Eagles had a season to remember last year, placing first at the Class 2A state meet, a first ever for the program.
Unbelievable feeling, just the experience it with all my friends, and just the school was so proud of us. It was really rewarding.
TG returns back 5 of their 6 golfers from last year, including Peyton Savageau, a Mr. Minnesota watch list member. The Eagles are focused on winning now, and we're focused on winning in the offseason.
We've been golfing all the time, and I golfed in the winter with some guys down in Florida, so we've been really golfing the whole year, all the time.
There's going to be competition, and we just have to continue to play good and get better and stay together as a team.
The confidence instilled from bringing home a state championship last season and the prep that's come since that title has Totino-Grace thinking of a repeat.
We have good golfers, and I know our capabilities and what we can do, and I know when we play at our best that really we can't really be beat.
Super important, obviously being a senior, we want to do it again, we want to go back to back, but it's going to take a lot of grind and a lot of hard work.
In Brooklyn Center, Chaz Moots, CCX Sports.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.